Kelli's Acoustic Crossroads is brought to you by the Team One Automotive Group, Riverview Regional Medical Center, and Family Savings Credit Union. Now, here's Kelli Johnson.
Welcome to Kelli's Acoustic Crossroads. I'm your host, Kelli Johnson. We've got an awesome show lined up for you today. I've got Mr. David Pope of Anniston, Alabama, going to come share some of his original music. I'm going to start us off with an old bluegrass tune, and I'm going to be playing my Blue Ridge acoustic guitar today, and this one's called Out Among the Stars. It's midnight in a liquor store in Texas. Beneath the neon close-ups just begun, when a boy walks in the store and points a pistol. He can't find a job, but he's found a gun. It out, no trace of confrontation. He lets the old man run out to the street, and he knows that soon they'll come with guns and blazing. Pictures the arrival of the cruisers. He sees that old familiar anger in their eyes, and he knows that when they're shooting at this loser, they'll be carries all the details. He dies in every living room in town. In his own, a bottle's thrown in anger, and his father cries, "We'll never live this down." Oh, how many travelers grow weary, bearing both their burdens and their scars. Don't you think they'd love to stop and play and fly like eagles out among the stars? Don't you think they'd love to stop and play and fly like eagles out among the stars? Y'all stay tuned for some original music by David Pope, and we'll be right back. Welcome to Kelly's Acoustic Crossroads. I'm your host, Kelly Johnson. Thank y'all for watching our show today. We've got an awesome guest today. Mr. David Pope's going to be here to share some of his original music, and he's going to start us off with one called Dig a Hole.
Dig a hole deep and wide, open up the cold hard ground. When you lay your sins away, make sure nobody knows. Over on the other side, you can lay your burdens down, but right now you're in trouble and that shovel's all you hold. I'm just gonna watch you dig a hole. Tell one lie to cover up another. Tell me why you fool yourself. Tell yourself you didn't cheat your brother. How did he end up with less? Day by day it's getting worse. Blame it all on someone else. Pride and anger, what's it worth? Is there anything left? Hope and pray. Go ahead and let God sort them out. All you can say is, Jesus, won't you save my soul? You've lost your way, now you start to figure out. It's hard to keep those stones from moving once they start to roll. Dig a hole deep and wide, open up the cold hard ground. When you lay your sins away, make sure nobody knows. Over on the other side, you can lay your burdens down, but right now you're in trouble and that shovel's all you hold. I'm just gonna watch you dig a hole. Go too fast, now you got to check up, lose it all in the second turn. Running hot, you don't wanna let up, running out of fuel to burn. Mile by mile it's getting worse. Blame it all on someone else. Pride and anger, what's it worth? Is there anything that's left? Hope and pray. Go ahead and let God sort them out. All you can say is, Jesus, won't you save my soul? You've lost your way, now it's time to figure out. It's hard to keep those stones from moving once they start to roll. Dig a hole deep and wide, open up the cold hard ground. When you lay your sins away, make sure nobody knows. Over on the other side, you can lay your burdens down, but right now you're in trouble and that shovel's all you hold. I'm just gonna watch you. I'm gonna watch you dig. I'm just gonna watch you dig a hole.
Welcome back to Kelly's Acoustic Crossroads. I'm here with my guest, David Pope. David, thanks for being here with me today.
Thank you for having me on, Kelly.
Well, I knew that you were an awesome guitar player because we had a chance to play at D Ford's together in, 2004? I think you had to remind me.
Yeah, 03, 04, yeah.
Somewhere around in there. I didn't realize you wrote your own songs. So how long have you been writing your own stuff?
I started writing back in the mid-'80s, but really didn't keep any of those. I was, it's like trial and error, I guess you'd say. But I've been writing a lot in the last 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, well, awesome. You've been playing since about the 1980s, and you said you got to start with your mom and dad. Tell me about how it kind of came about.
Yeah, they wrote gospel music. They wrote original gospel music and performed it at local churches and at the city auditorium back when they used to have the gospel concerts down there with the Happy Goodman family and the Florida Boys and all those. And I started singing with them. They taught me to sing harmony, and I didn't really want to do that though. I didn't really want to sing, back then. It was when I was a kid. I was just wanted to go out and play football or baseball or whatever.
Right. But your parents did it kind of all the time. Did they do?
Yeah, they
for a
were
living and kind of stuff.
No, it was just a hobby, I guess you'd say, with them. They didn't do it for money, but they did perform at a lot of churches around the area.
Gotcha. But from that you learned your harmony and stuff. When did you start growing from something that you did with your parents that was just kind of on the side to something that developed into your own passion that you wanted to do?
I started out. I've always loved jazz, and I started out playing alto sax and trumpet when I was about 15 years old.
Yeah.
And then I discovered the guitar. And there was this girl at church that I'd been trying to talk to, and I picked up this guitar down at the church, and she said, "Oh, you play guitar?" And I was like, "Hey, that's what I want to play." Right
I do now.
Yeah. So that's kind of when I started that and discovered rock and roll, and the rest is history.
Oh yeah. See, because I knew you as this awesome rock and roll guitar player, and you can do all those Santana licks and stuff like that. I always admired that because I basically learned to play on stage and just learned chords. So I've always admired the people that were able to do the lead and stuff. Did you just kind of teach yourself how to play?
Yeah, basically, yeah, I did. I learned a lot from. There was an album called "One More from the Road" by Leonard Skinner. It's a double live album, and I learned a lot of my licks off of listening to that, the old vinyl.
Yeah.
And of course, Kiss Alive, and some of the great '70s rock records.
So there's something a lot of people may not know about you. When you were born, you had something called congenital cataracts.
Right.
And you had a surgery by the time you were 11 months old
11
to
months
correct
old.
that. And from that, how did that affect your vision?
Well, they removed the cataracts, but back then they didn't have a laser, so they had to cut the cataracts off, which caused scar tissue, which led to glaucoma developing later on. So I don't have the cataracts anymore, but I have the leftovers from them.
Oh, wow. So you're blind in one eye?
I'm legally blind in one eye and totally blind in the other. And I guess legally blind means that I'm okay unless I try to drive a car, and then I'm illegally blind.
I'm okay till I try to drive a car too, but it's for completely different reasons.
Yeah.
But I love it that's not hindered your guitar playing. It doesn't seem. Has it been a problem for you as a musician?
Not really, no. It's probably helped me, truth be known.
Help you focus in more?
Well, I have a better ear, and it does. It helps me because a lot of times I won't look at the neck of the guitar. I just play it.
Yeah.
And when I look too often, that's when I usually mess up. So if I just close my eyes and play, I'm okay.
I hear you. It all comes from inside anyway.
Yeah.
Well,
right.
Awesome. Well, I'm looking forward to hearing some more of your original music.
Well,
Y'all stay tuned. We've got some more stuff coming from David Pope. And y'all check out our website, kacrossroads.com. Welcome back to Kelly's Acoustic Crossroads. I'm here with my guest, David Pope, and we were talking about some of the songwriting that you were doing. You said you've been kind of writing since the early 80s. And so I know some of my early songs, I hope, are never, ever found in hers.
Yeah, well, you try to write something, and it sounds like something else, and you try not to do that, so it's hard. It's hard to write something that you feel like is original.
Yes, yeah, I know, because it's all the chords have been made before in some progression or another. But yeah, it's all been done. I think that's a song.
It is. Yeah.
Well, cool. Well, you said earlier you're working on a CD maybe this summer of putting together some of that original music. Are you recording it at home or?
Actually, at a studio in Hoover.
Oh, cool.
I'm working over there, but I did a CD of original music with a band called Bad Habit back in 2000. It was about 5 of my songs, and the rest of them were the other guys' songs. But I'm gonna try to do all original this time. Awesome. And you can just get 10 or 12 songs out there on a CD, and see what happens.
Yeah, I hear you. So are you playing all the instruments? Are you playing guitar?
No, I'll probably be playing guitar and maybe a bass track or two, but
so you play bass as well?
Just
saxophone?
And yeah, well, I probably couldn't get a squeak out of a sax now. It's been so long since I played one.
Yeah, I played drums in high school, but that's not helping my rhythm at all these days, or timing. So, well, awesome. Well, I can't wait to hear some of the original songs. But I know "Dig a Hole," very, very original. I like that concept. And you've got another one that we're going to hear, "Clarksdale," about Mississippi, correct?
Yes.
And how did that come about?
We made a trip to Memphis to see one of my best friends, John Devaney, and his family, and we decided to go to Clarksdale because legend has it that's where Robert Johnson sold his soul to the devil, at the Crossroads. And actually, so we went on the 4th of July, and the storm that I talk about in the song, the storm actually happened. I was standing under the tree at the Crossroads playing my guitar, and this big storm came up, and I thought that was just the coolest thing. It was the lightning and and this old fella did pull up. He wasn't driving a Cadillac, he was driving a pickup truck, but he pulled up and was talking to us. And after he left, I asked John, I said, do you think that might have been the devil? You never know.
You never know. Well, that's such a cool story. And Mississippi is just such a lush music place, too.
Oh, yeah.
So have you got to play a lot in Mississippi and Memphis and around?
Well, yeah. Casinos over in Natchez and Vicksburg. Done a lot of work over there, and played around Memphis a little bit, and all over Alabama and Georgia and Florida.
Cool. And different combinations of groups and stuff?
Yeah. There's been several different combinations. Most of the bands have lasted 3 or 4 years, and it's hard to keep a band together though any longer than that, because people grow and they get families and they go their separate ways and whatever. But
right. So these days you're mainly performing kind of as a solo or duo?
Yes, I'm doing mostly solo stuff now, and play with a band every once in a while, and just try to get my original music out there is what I want to do right now, instead of concentrating on covers so
I hear
much.
you. Well, awesome. Well, we're going to get one out there right now, Clarksdale, we were talking about earlier. Here's David Pope with his original song, Clarksdale.
I went down to Clarksdale on the 4th of July. Blind John and my rider traveling by my side. North Mississippi was dusty and hard. Rolling down old 49, I thought we'd never stop. I was trying to catch a glimpse of Papa Leg, but there I looked all around for that tangled rocking chair. I slung my axe low and I walked on down. I set my feet upon that holy ground, and I said, Mr. Johnson, can you hear me now? I come from Alabama where the twisters howl. Me and this old guitar, we've been traveling along, trying to find the mojo in the devil's song. My friend Blind Boy Johnny had his guitar too. I looked at him, I said, you know what to do. We played our blues under the Delta sun. Then old Papa Legba set them hellhounds on the run. The next thing that I heard was the thunder roll. I could feel the rumbling way down in my soul. Black clouds were rolling in the southern sky. Saw the lightning flash in my rider's eyes, and I hollered, Robert Johnson, can you hear me now? I come from Alabama where the bad dogs growl. Me and this old guitar, we've been traveling along, trying to find a mojo in the devil's song. Then I saw the headlights coming up the road, a long black Cadillac that the devil drove. He said, tell me, boy, what are you doing here? I said, I got blues power, so I got no fear. And he said, go back home and play that guitar till you bleed. You ain't suffered near enough to have the kind of soul I need. So I laid my pick on that muddy ground. Cadillac was gone when I turned around. Then I thought I heard a voice in the wind saying, when you think you're ready, come on back again. So we jammed that night up in Memphis town. Them guitars were screaming like them old hellhounds. Me and blind boy John on the devil's dime, living way too fast on that double crossing time. And I said, Robert Johnson, can you hear me now? I come from Alabama where the twisters howl. Me and this old guitar, we've been traveling long, trying to find the mojo in a devil's song.
Welcome back to Kelly's Acoustic Crossroads. Thank y'all so much for tuning in, and thank you so much to my guest David Pope for being here and sharing your music with us. We sure appreciate it. Y'all make sure you check out kacrossroads.com for all of our guests and info on how to become a guest. And while you're at it, check out Reverb Nation, David Evan Pope, and facebook.com/David Pope. And David's going to take us out with his original song, She Ain't Easy.
Sometimes she can be so cold, like January rain falling on my soul. Sometimes she doesn't care at all. She just cuts her losses and off she goes. I've seen her crying like a child, so lost in her own pain, she won't even try. And sometimes I don't know what to do when I see that faraway look in her eyes. But I keep holding on, God, it's been so long. She's a part of me, a part of me. It's my own cross to carry. It's heavy and it weighs on me, but I can't put it down for the life of me. But she ain't easy. Sometimes I think she doesn't even see me. Does she believe me when I tell her it hurts to love this way? She could save me. She could walk right in and totally amaze me. So I keep the faith from day to day, but she ain't easy. Sometimes she comes burning bright, like a welcome star against the hungry night. But I know that she won't shine for long. She'll give in to pride and hide away her light. I never know what I will find, 'cause a moment or a word can change her mind.